Most teams spend weeks building personalization rules. But here's the truth. Email personalization can be overrated, and in many cases, it's the hidden reason why deliverability starts to actually drop. So in this video, we'll bust 5 common email personalization myths to stop you from wasting your budget, slowing down critical flows, or tanking deliverability. Hello, and welcome to Mailtrap videos, where we explore the world of emails. Myth number 1. Every single email needs personalization. Sounds good in theory, but in practice, not so much. Think about a password reset. Does it really matter if it says, "Hi Sarah from Acme Corp"? Not really. What does matter is that it arrives instantly every single time. And yet, I've seen teams slow down critical flows like resets or invoices by layering in unnecessary personalization rules, pulling CRM fields, usage data, or name tokens. The end result? Users waiting minutes for an email that should have arrived in seconds. And frustrated users don't just wait, they sometimes file support tickets, churn faster, or switch tools. So, what should your team do? First, you need to keep mission-critical emails fast, simple, and bulletproof. That means stripping away any extra personalization rules from flows like password resets, invoices, or confirmations. Second, encourage your team to monitor delivery times with strict SLAs, aiming for seconds. And third, don't forget to build a feedback route. This way, if your main email service provider has issues, your critical messages won't get stuck. Myth number 2. More personalization equals more engagement. When teams slice their audience into 10, 15, maybe even 20 microsegments, it can feel intuitive. But for this approach to be effective, each segment needs thousands of recipients in order to produce reliable insights. In reality, the groups they usually send to are too small to reveal any real patterns or trends. And their sending patterns look erratic to mailbox providers. As a result, instead of boosting engagement, they start to hurt deliverability. I've seen product updates underperform simply because the audience got chopped up into too many segments. For example, a pricing change email split across 15 different segments, where each one was too small to learn from, and half the emails went to spam. Of course they did. And that's why, when it comes to personalization, it's better to push your team forward selectively. In other words, reserve personalization for moments where it truly moves the needle, like nudging a new user through onboarding, reminding a churn risk account of the value that they're about to lose, or prompting an update at the right time. Those are the situations where relevance pays off. For broad announcements like pricing changes or terms of service updates, stick to clarity and consistency, as they matter far more than personalization. Plus, if you go with one clear message sent to everyone, you will protect deliverability, reduce confusion, and keep your brand aligned. On to myth number 3. Personalization is just plug and play. But before we go into more details on this myth, I just want to plug in a quick reminder to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on helpful videos like this one. Statistically speaking, I'm talking to you, John Smith. See what I did there? Personalization. Anyway, believe it or not, behind every first name tag is a data pipeline that has to stay clean. Behind every usage-based recommendation is a compliance risk if the data isn't governed properly. And behind every personalized campaign is an engineering team making sure that the whole system doesn't collapse under load. So when personalization does break, it's not just awkward, like calling a customer by the wrong name. It erodes trust, hurts your chances of hitting the inbox, and leaves a lasting negative impression. To avoid this, before you approve any deeper personalization, take a step back and make sure that your data governance is solid. That means your product, lifecycle, and compliance leads need to agree on which data is safe to use, how it's validated, and what safeguards catch mistakes before they reach customers. Without that alignment, personalization can quickly backfire, and one wrong name, one outdated usage metric, or one misplaced recommendation can become the reason your business loses credibility in the eyes of its customers. Myth number 4. Personalization is about individuals, not accounts. In B2B, you're often not emailing just one person, you're emailing an entire account. That might mean admins, end users, and decision makers, all looking for different information. So if your personalization says, "Hi Sarah," but Sarah's billing contact and you're pushing feature tips, the message won't really land. Why? Well, because the real issue isn't whether you got the name right, though that's important. It's whether the message matches the role and the account's bigger context. The smarter move is to shape personalization around the account as a whole, not just the first name in the database. That means tying your emails to meaningful account signals, things like usage milestones, an upcoming renewal, or seats running out. And since different roles have different priorities, the messaging needs to reflect that too. An admin will expect billing updates, and users will want product tips. And when it comes to executives, well, they'll most likely be looking for the ROI. And finally, myth number 5. Personalization stays the same throughout the sales cycle. Sales cycles can stretch for months, sometimes even a year. And if your drip campaigns keep recycling the same first name tag or repeating usage stats, you won't build trust, you'll just wear down patience. The real impact comes from pacing personalization to the deal stage, light touches early on, and deeper value-driven messaging closer to the renewal or upsell. This approach works because personalization isn't something that can be static. If we wanted something static, we wouldn't have personalization in the first place. And if every email looks and feels the same, prospects don't just ignore you, they tune you out completely. So, at the start, prioritize education, helping prospects understand the product, and building enough confidence to stay engaged. As the cycle progresses, you can shift the focus. For example, closer to renewal or upsell, the most effective messages should emphasize ROI, reinforce the value already delivered, and highlight expansion opportunities. When personalization follows the rhythm of the deal, it feels natural and persuasive. When it stays static, it quickly becomes background noise. So here's the hard reality. Personalization isn't automatically a win. Yes, it can make your emails more relevant, improve retention, and increase engagement. But it can also add deliverability risks, compliance headaches, and operational costs. The good news? There's a straightforward framework to help your team decide when to personalize. If the email drives action, like signing in, activating, upgrading, personalize. If the email drives awareness, like pricing updates, terms of service changes, release notes, keep it simple and scalable. If you want to boost the effects of personalization and improve customer trust even more, you need to pair it with the right email marketing strategies. For that, we recommend checking out our dedicated video on the topic. The link should pop up on the screen just about now. I'll see you there.